Okay. So fourth section, that would be once you did your assessment and you set everything to monitor the data, you can obviously monitor it now. And once again, that's the steps that are proposed here. They need, they can, but they also, I guess, they even need to be adapted to the your context, the way you want to organize the things, and if you want also to organize the validations session, not to be the same one every time, you need to adapt that. That's the general workflow, let's say. Okay. So what I would do, let's have an example, something that has been monitored. Wondering what kind of do either apps things or anything else that would have been already validated for sure. Okay, I can do that with the UN mappers, for example. As of now, there is no long-term validation monitoring workflow in place. So I guess over time, all these squares, and it is the basic working area is a 25 kilometer square for UN maps. I can try this over issue. So this would be, I don't know, a large area. Okay. So if I go on with it, a lot of data, but I don't know, it's really vivid. There's a lot of contribution there. So week, apparently nothing. Let's put a month. Is it working? Too large. Yeah, so from here, supposedly, I figure, no, that's unlikely. There is nothing. I don't know. It just takes time to retrieve the data. Supposedly, it's pre-calculated, I guess. Check. I don't know, somewhere else. Hmm. 1 year, no, eternity. So eternity, there is something. Doesn't seem to work.
Seva, just a question: Is
Yes.
the query required for searching who did it or not for the search?
Apply?
No, just to in the field, in the first field.
To put a OSM username of actually targeting like a particular user. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
This is optional. Supposedly, when you zoom in from a certain zoom level, yes, this one is too large. That's if you put the permalink. It's zoom 10 is should appear. But okay, it doesn't work today, and that's a very known rule whenever you try to show one tool in a in
I
a
mean, the
training
only thing
meeting.
that I could suggest is if you zoom out a little bit to where you have over, and then you can restrict that age until you get under 6,000. Give that a try.
Like 12 a week.
Yeah, if you just zoom out though and see if you can catch something.
Yeah, but let's, I don't know, I can see it very living. Okay, German is the most.
This also raises a good point. Is in some cases, especially when you have a community that maybe doesn't have fantastic access to computers or internet and this kind of thing, that actually you might not see very many edits to the map after you finish a particular task.
Exactly. Yeah. No, when I showed this this tool, that was maybe 1 month and a half ago. Wherever I went, even just it was in DRC, I think there was not much. The contribution was not very much, but there was something. But no, you can see even in Germany there's nothing. So Woodedit doesn't work today, unfortunately. So I would have, of course, the square. But anyway, my idea was not to process the square proposed by Woodedit anyway. The thing that for Woodedit, you need to work at that level, maximum, zoom 11. So if it's very big, you need also to scroll here and there. But that's already quite a large area, depending on the also the time, the size of your screen. Okay. So the idea would have seen if I have many squares with many green things, that mean new contribution or even a lot of modifications. And if you click on each square, there's a long list of set or not that give you an idea of what you have to deal with. And as I put there, there's a, I mean, the changes have been really significant. You can adapt the rest or even skip some steps. Okay. So after this first glimpse of the situation regarding the contribution of since the last time you validated, you would check the same area in Osmose. Here. Oh.
By the way, is this the order that you recommend to use these tools, or is it just random for the demonstration?
I don't know how to spell it in English for me to know like this. No, we get issue.
It's just a U on the end, I think. Just Mogadi SU.
SU?
Okay, SHU then.
There's an error reaching the server. It's not even the spelling. I think, oh, okay, it works at least. Even the nominating has an issue. So everything is not done today. And yes, of course, I have this. Also, I'm not sure that it has been fully validated over all these markers, but for us, for example, and we will, I mean, UN maps, we are really focused on all the map feature I present you. So the world network is a bit key. So all these alerts would be actually processed. Okay. and processing the additional OSM SHA alerts. Okay, so you can do a quick filter with my account. Okay. I can create thing like that. Already show. Don't need the water actually, but okay. And bounding box. And reason for flagging, possible import, mass modification, and for example, major road, footwear, digital place, modification, etc. Okay, and of course I would have created a watch list. Let's process that. Date. So let's see that's over the last month. Let's imagine I had finished the validation of my area by April 13. So okay, I can save it. Mogadishu is the issue. Confirm. And there's only 38 gensets. Some of them being from UNGNC accounts, so that's my colleagues. So supposedly, I would put them in my trusted user list, and I would also hide my trusted user so they would not appear. Chronozer. So yes. Nothing regarding in this area. The only person creating a lot of data is this specific paid mapper from UN Maps. So that would be in this case that it's done according to my criteria. I would have nothing to check from OSM. But you can see I have done something from Osmos, so they're a good. They complete each other.
Just wanted to ask a question about that. So,
yeah,
how would you coordinate? Because obviously this is talking more about the long-term validation. But how would you coordinate the validation through tools like Osmos, where you see that you have those edits, with validation in, say, a tasking manager when you have a task through Hot OSM?
Probably the tasking manager is really linked with the mapping time. Okay, so and generally this is done where there is much to map. Okay, and then you validate through the tasking manager. That is not perfect because you just validate mostly with the editor, and some people they even edit with ID. I mean validate with ID. So you have a first step of validation, and then I would say you apply everything with I showed with this validation test. And you check the data, and that's where I told you you decide first if it's ready to validation or not. If it's not ready to validation, and there is a validation. I mean, there is a tasking manager project for this area. You put the thing back to be mapped again, to be completed. Okay, so the tasking manager, once it's set and when everything has been mapped, it doesn't work. It doesn't serve anymore. It served to, I would say, to green, to validate at the first level, then you can process everything to check, because you will. And when I validate, and I validated, for example, for hot activation back in the past, I was part of the validation team. There are some people from the community, they use the task manager to validate, and when it was done, actually I even sometime hide the I hid the project, and I downloaded everything. Okay, and this is where you can see that yes, actually there's some task that needs to be mapped again, and then I would reopen the project to be completed. But if it was mostly done, I did all the fun. I didn't have at the time of this process or this workflow done, but I would done something like that. Okay, and that's the mapping time and the first initial validation. And now we are dealing more with the post validation, and we just monitor. And I guess it's only I assume actually there is no new task manager project over the area. Okay, if I see there actually, when I use we did it to make the first check, there's a lot of new contribution over the area. I will see very quickly, because in the list of genset and their comments, I will see if there is a hashtag. Okay, there is a task manager running. So that's okay. There's a mapping time for this specific area. I will let them finish, and when they're finished, I will check. Okay, but yes, no, I will not jump into make some post validation workflow inside tasking manager running project. That would make no sense.
Well, I guess just to clarify a little bit, what I mean is, let's say that you have a project. So if we were today open a new project with UM mappers, for instance, map a new area, hasn't been mapped before. How does Osmos or tools like it react to that? Would it see all of the new edits and display them in all?
Osmos
even if
would
you
detect some
restricted the.
Oh yeah, sure. No, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
There's no. I mean, the data when you work on the tasking manager, you just monitor or the people working with it. You cannot anyone can actually map whenever he wants over the area directly from the editor, and the data is uploaded the same way, just there's a hashtag, but the same data, and Osmos has obviously its own duplicated database, global one, and to monitor these alerts, okay, in a generally daily basis. So yes, whatever, the source of your data that is put on OSM can be from direct edits, from smartphone apps, direct edit from JOSM IDs, or things that came through the tasking manager. It's absolutely the same at the end.
Of course.
So for Osmos, it's exactly it will process that the same way.
Yeah, I guess what I'm asking is, if you have a task where, say, you even limit the validation to certain team members, for example, or something like that, where you've taken a look at the project and you feel that, yes, the quality of this mapping data produced via this task is high, or to some threshold standard. In the interest perhaps of time and effort, would you ever consider using some kind of a filter or something in a tool like Osmos to essentially say, okay, the edits made via this task seem to be already good, So I will not validate them again, and I will instead, for example, focus on other things. Like you said, if somebody just decided to edit it, not necessarily via that, or they just went in through, again, like you said, on a phone or a browser, whatever, and they just made a direct edit to the map.
For Osmos, actually, yes. Regarding OSM SHA, it's totally that. You have the trusted user, the one or the contrary you want to watch, and that's why, for example, in OSM SHA, I would consider this contributor because it's a colleague that mostly what he does is good, and I will not monitor his genset. But Osmos is really testing the object by themselves whenever, whatever the contributor. And maybe, yes, all of us made some mistakes. Like you can see there is a lot of non-connected small networks or networks. Okay, that's a very, very common one because we did not create the right intersection, and that may happen for everyone. So, but that's what Osmos does. They will detect that it don't mind if it's from a beginner or very experienced mapper, but it needs to be clean and detected and cleaned. And that's why Osmos doesn't have this filter by contributor, because it just detects potential errors per se, because there is for example, a name that is misspelled, because it can see misspelled. That's so that's, I think it's interesting because from this tool, we are all the same recall, and it just monitoring for potential mistakes. And this is not because you can see that's supposedly a small highway group part of the network that is actually it's disconnected. That's a fact. That's this is not because there would be, oh, it has been made by such user, I think it's good. No, I mean for this kind of issue, it's interesting to monitor all of them, because there are not even some of them. They are potential what do you say in English, false positives. But for example, this kind of things, these small highway group parts, these specific alerts, generally there's no false positive. Okay, there's always a connection, otherwise it should be some highway that you can reach just by helicopter. Maybe there's, statistically there's some in OSM, but I think they're pretty rare.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so I'll take that to basically say, yeah, you can use Osmos as the next step, basically, or like a next layer of validation once you've already done that task.
Yeah, exactly. All the workflow I presented generally after you monitored everything. Okay, there is the check the next day with Osmos to see if there is some remaining things in the categories of interest for the specific map features that you missed. That you missed also that are complementary, because it checks also things that JOSM does not check. So even actually, I think you can also they have been implemented now in JOSM. But the thing also, the beauty of Osmo, that you can see a large area in your screen. In JOSM, you cannot download a very, very large area. No more question?
I think that answers mine. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm back to my proposed validation workflow for the long-term validation. So we have this first glimpsed with we did it. We processed the Osmos alerts of interest for us, and we also processed the one with from our specific OSM char filter. Okay. You can complement the validation if you want by using a part of the workflow that were presented there. Okay. For example, like for the waterways, not yet, especially for example, bridge, fords, and culverts. You remember this very kind of complex search. You can check because this won't be shown by Osmos OSM shop. So you may also want to check that. Okay. And if you want to do that on a large, I don't know if I put that on a large area, you can also use an overpass request, okay, to, for example, to download only the bridge, ford, and culverts, for example, and or the waterway and the road networks. You're not limited in the site when you download in JOSM from overpass, so you can monitor a larger area. Okay, that's why I put that. And if you want to check every object in a category, you can add a timestamp criterion in the JOSM search. Okay, so it's only this specific object. Okay, so so if my last session was that, so here's the timestamp since July. The timestamp on newer, actually, let me have a look. Okay, I can go again, look at issue. And decide to check what has been done. So it was almost 1 year ago. Look, build, query, and execute. So that's a lot of data. Yeah, it's too much. I thought there was less actually. So, and I said the validation session would be not to be done once a year because otherwise it becomes a bit complex. Where is that? Okay, it's there. So this is a lot of data. So I would have to monitor everything. Let me do with a more recent thing over the last month. Okay. So 15 of April. BigQuery. Download this here. No data, really. Okay. So it puts at least 2 months. So I guess there was a high activity from my colleague. Still not. Well, over the last year, but not in the recent months. Okay, let's. Well. Oh, maybe there's a hashtag or not? There was a hashtag. Oh, that's okay. My bad. I think I should have put the hashtag. Not the hashtag, the
//
the slash, yeah. Because otherwise the task name would be this specific day, I guess. And the slash is from that date to now, basically. Yeah, that's it. So even, yes, even still a lot of data. Wow, it's even bigger. Maybe my array was bigger also. Okay, that's too much. Let's do it like this. Or maybe, yes, more rural area. So I have something that seems to be more reasonable. So it was, oh yes, interesting, the timestamp. It was this one, just one. Yes, I don't know, yes, 2 months is not that big. It queried not as the new layer. Okay, that's more visible. Okay. And here you can check there's some, so there's a very high density of thing. So it was, I would say that's more from what I retrieved, it is more it seems more something that's been actually mapped and not validated at that time. Okay, so that's not a good example. I would expect something that is more one or two, a few highways had been modified, but still these are very big density. Let's put just 10 days. So yes, 1st of May. Yeah, it's moving all the time, actually. What was the history of this one, for example? Okay, so it doesn't work. There's an issue because itself doesn't move it 2021. Okay. It's strange. Let me do that with another string. I like the newer thing. Okay, so it would be highway. Newer and would be 24 and nice 10 days, 14 days. That's much better. Okay, that's only the thing that has been. So yes, I will replace the timestamp because I don't know why it retrieved actually everything. And I'm more used to newer actually and newer works. So you can see, from that sounds much more likely. Let me even 1 month now. Download. Okay. Yes, so that's the thing has been modified regarding the highway since the last 45 days, I think, since April 1st. So you can monitor that. If, for example, it's still if I go here, the history, river, okay. If there is some thing that looks strange, you can obviously you cannot see the intersection, etc. for this with this, and that's why I don't know. There is thing that has been also downloaded, is from the same genset, but anyway. But for example, for that, okay, that has been modified. Oops, sorry, this was not what has been modified. Can I have a check or just about one node? Okay, it has been added, and there is no change in that. So mostly nothing. And this one, that's the name. Okay, has been changed. I'm not neither an Arabic speaker nor someone that knows get issues, so I cannot have an opinion on that. Okay. But if those names were very important for my project, for sure, detecting that, I would have actually maybe I would contact someone. Okay, that's also changing the name of a primary road. That's something that can be detected by OSM shell. Okay, so that's it. You can I will change that by newer. I would change the string after the training. So you can use Overpass to actually download what's been changed and try to monitor that. Okay. And basically, fifth step that can be also put anywhere you want, but I mean it can be inserted in all anything you see. That was my what I said last time. You can actually interact with the contributors whenever you want. You can decide also to have a specific step at the end when everything has been processed. You put on maybe on the paper. I need to contact this person, etc. And you process that. Okay. At least you will. You may add some new contributors in your list in OSM SHA, either the trusted one or the watch list, and you will send a message to problematic contributors. Okay. And also, as I explained last time, you can put in your agenda a reminder for if you expect any answer, to be sure that you will not forget that they were supposed to answer you before you take any extra action, like informing the data working group.